Hey, family. Thank you for checking back in with your sister. Greetings to my brothers and sisters in the spirit. I don't know what I'm going to call this video. It'll come to me. I want to speak about three topics, okay? But before I get started, I want to give honor where honors due because I take no credit for anything. I want to give all honor to the Most High God, source of all things, source within, in Christ, okay? Um, Family. Your sister I'm always speaking from my experience, my testimony, and I've been pretty much doing videos for quite some time. I mean, ever since I came to my spiritual awakening. But the crazy thing about it is, um, me doing my first video had nothing to do with spiritual awakening. I was pretty much like coming out of a relationship with my daughter's father. And that was during a time when I was operating in self love as far as when it comes to myself. I was to see my value at the time, and I had did my first video to where I sung a Whitney Houston song, but I put my own spin on it, and it was saving all my love for you. Okay, and I don't think, and many of you wasn't watching me back then. Okay. At that time I was, in my feelings. I was like, you know what, this person broke my heart and all that. We're not together. I'm tired of going in circles. Okay, I got to start living myself. So I had sung one of Whitney Houston songs, put my own spin to it, and I wasn't really caring about no views, to tell you the truth. And before I know it, other, young ladies, other sisters started to check my video out, and they was liking it. And like, oh, you can sing, but I wanted them to hear the message, and a lot of them did, get the message, and I started feeling support. So that's how I really started. I started off making videos. I think I did like maybe three or four videos talking about relationships, and it was therapy for me. Not only was I lifting myself up, building myself, but I was also helping a lot of sisters who were also in the same state that I was, vibrationally state that I was in, which was not low, which was low, shall I say. And that's why we were pretty much attracting the kind of men that we were to us. Um, but back then, I didn't know anything about vibration or anything. But during that time, like I said, it was like God moved in mysterious ways. But during that time, I end up started to there was other videos that was presented to me while I was on YouTube. You be taking your feed, and all of a sudden all these so-called videos be popping up about spiritual videos, a lot of esoteric videos, and I wasn't really into that kind of stuff because I was still like religious. Even though I was having my own, paranormal experiences growing up, there were still certain things I wasn't gonna touch, because I was told that stuff is like witchcraft, and it's pretty much ignorant. Ignorant is bliss. When you don't know, you don't know. But when you go to church, you're pretty much programmed to leave certain things alone. Don't touch certain things that you don't understand, and it is true. It is true. I truly believe one must have their own experience to be able to speak about certain things. And of course, once you have the experience, you can relate to certain topics, shall I say. That's just like going on the job. They always expect you to have experience, go to school, knowing good well, when you're on a job. It's always somebody on that job still has to train you. They got to train you the way they do, whether you have experience or not. So anyway, that's how your sister's journey got started, family. So anyway, and then I started, my experiences started, taking off from there. Before you know it, my I started having like little baby experiences. But now, real quick, let me speak about this real quick. Let me say, really, my experience, I'm grateful for my mom. My experiences took off more than hers, but she was pretty much, it's like everything kind of started with her first. I remember She used to tell me when I was coming up that she used to look in the mirror and she would see like a face, like a man face staring back at her. And she remembered this when she was younger and she had shared it with me one time. But anyway, I don't remember exactly the date, but I would say this has happened early when I turned, I think, 43. 42 or 43. No, I'm going to say 43. This happened earlier when I had turned in my 40 when I was in 43, and my mom. I remember, she had an experience when she was asleep, and now all this was going on during the time I was, doing my little video, talking about relationships and all of that. But anyway, I remember her coming to me one day and, she was telling me how, she had an awesome experience and she didn't really know what it was, but she wanted to, talk to me about it. I said, okay, yeah, Mom, what happened, And she told me that, she went to sleep and all of a sudden, she just became conscious, she was in complete darkness and she saw a light, like a pin dot light in the distance. And this light moved up towards her. It moved up towards her. And as the light started to move up towards her, it was doing a motion like this. It was spiraling towards her, getting closer and closer and closer and closer. You get what I'm going with this? Pretty much like a black and white spiral that was moving towards her. And she said she was looking, because she experienced this before. So she said she was just looking, and she said also she ended up like well, little did she know it was really a portal, a spiritual portal, but she didn't know anything about that. She just pretty much observing, like a lot of people do. And so she say eventually she ended up in a dark place, a dark space, and she started seeing movement in the distance. And it looked like people to her, but she couldn't really make it out. But she was seeing like a lot of, movement in the distance. And then she said she started seeing people a little bit, and then she started seeing like dark figures, also moving around, and it kind of bothered her. She, trying to wake herself up. And she had shared it with me. Now, mind you, my mom had, wanted to talk to somebody, and I can't think of a far better person to talk to is a family member, So, of course, I'm listening to her. But at this time, I was not having no kind of experience. I wasn't really like spiritually awakened. Okay, even though I had a lot of paranormal experiences growing up, seeing shadows every now and then, just little minor things. Um, I was experiencing what she was experiencing. So I'm looking at her like this. Wow, mom, that's something. But I was also in a state of fear because what she was speaking about, I knew it was spiritual. I just knew deep down inside it was spiritual. And not only that, I thought death was coming from my mom. I mean, that's how psychologically I was thinking. I'm like, wow, is death coming from my mom or what? Why is she, seeing some mess like that? What's going on? Then, of course, when you're brainwashed, going to church, church has its place. Don't get me wrong, going to church has its place. But all you're doing is just being fed the word, which is something you can do at home. You can read the word yourself, okay? Just a matter of having understanding of what you're reading. But I was like, wow, I wasn't really feeling what she was telling me. I'm like, wow, it's crazy, When she was talking, that sort of reminded me of the valley of the shadow of death, that the word speaks about. And I'm like, why is she saying some mess like that? So anyway, but I listened. And I'm like, wow, man, that's crazy. I said, well, thank you for sharing it with me. And she felt good to talk to me about it because, it feels good when you're having an experience, you can speak to somebody about it, definitely a family member, nothing like being able to talk to your daughter or your mom, your grandma, your sister or whomever you're close with, that's good. You should be able to go to your family member and they're there for you like that instead of trying to condemn you or put you in a nut house. You can at least trust them with that, that you can go to them to have a listening ear. So anyway, I listened to her, and but like I said, I was having no experience. But I was like, this it's crazy, mom. So moving forward. I don't know the time frame. I probably say 3 to 4 weeks, maybe. One day I was asleep, and all of a sudden, the same experience that happened to her happened to me. All of a sudden, I saw a pin dot light. I became conscious where I saw a pin dot light, okay, in the distance, and then started swirling. And the more it gets closer to you, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Kind of remind you of this. That's why I love this so much. 'Cause a lot of these things I speak about, I see it within myself. It started looking like this, but it gets closer and closer and closer and closer. What I know now, what I didn't know then, is pretty much like a spiritual portal. It's also a sign that your third eye is awakened. Now, everybody is different. But for my mom and for me, we've seen this for ourselves. Okay, so yes, her testimony, her experience sharing it with me is now my testimony because I can relate. Okay, so it got bigger, 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 and all of a sudden everything just went black. For me, I started seeing people walking around. I saw a light in the distance, but they wasn't for some reason facing the light. Their back was away from the light. It's like the light was back here and they was moving. They were walking this way, but everybody just walking around. Some's going this way, some's going this way. And they didn't really look troubled. It just, to me, what I sensed was it seemed like they was in limbo. They were walking in a way that's confused, like in a confused, disoriented state. Okay, and I too was seeing it looked like some shadow figures that was in this space. Okay, and um, it seemed like to me, and it's just my opinion from what I was seeing, it seemed like to me also that these shadow figures was trying to keep them off a certain path, trying to throw them off, trying to distract them, shall I say. That's just my opinion from what I was seeing. No, it's my, let me just say this, it's my interpretation, okay? I've seen this place many times before. A lot of times I don't see the shadow figures, but sometimes I do, okay? Sometimes I'm just seeing the people walking around. And this place is the valley of the shadow of death, knowing what I know now. Okay, this place is the valley of the shadow of death that the word speaks about. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. And it's more to that. It's in one of Psalms. You gotta find. I think it's Psalms 23. I think the Lord's my shepherd, I shall not want. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But if it's not, I apologize. But get in the Word, find it for yourself. I read that verse many times, but I didn't understand it because I'm in the land of the living. And of course, I was not seeing then what I'm seeing now. I wasn't seeing then through the veil, okay? But that word is true. That word is true. And it make you also wonder what else. I mean, if that's true, a lot of other things that I have read in the word is true. Think about Revelations. Just saying, think about Revelations. But anyway. But I know about timelines, so a lot of things going to happen in timelines. It's not going to affect everybody. Okay, the word tells you that it don't speak about timelines, but when you get an understanding more about timelines, changing your reality also by the way you live, and raising your vibration. A lot of things is not going to affect you. It's going to be going on around you. It's going to be going on around you, but a lot of things are not going to affect everybody. Okay. Now let me get back let me move forward now. But anyway, but back then that was my intro, okay, to my third eye start to awaken. I was introduced to the spiral, okay, and then from there, I would find myself going to sleep, and all of a sudden I became conscious. And back then I didn't really know the concept of the third eye back then. I was just having an experience. All I know all of a sudden I'm seeing with my eyes closed. You know, and I'm not dreaming. I'm conscious of what I'm saying. I'm like, wow, I'm seeing with my eyes closed. What's this? So that's how many of you going to know your third eye's awakened. You're seeing things with your eyes closed, and I don't care what you're seeing. You're having an experience. So anyway, And from there, it progresses. When I will see this light, I will always be drawn to this light. And I will see these shadow figures walking back and forth. But I'm not going to really go into all of that. I've done videos talking about it. I just want to speak about my intro, okay? Because I don't want to make these videos long. So things start to progress from there. Now let's go back to the valley of the shadow of death real quick. Or, okay, let me just say this for any of you who third eye is awakened and you knows who you are. You know whom you are, okay? Who you are. Let me just say this real quick. Have no fear. What you're doing is you're having an experience. Your third spiritual eye is awakened. Okay? And you cannot really help what you see. You can have a high vibration and you can still end up, seeing certain realms that you really want to be in. Okay? But it's what you do about it that determines everything. That determines how you want to shall I say, enjoy the experience. Maybe that's not the right word for it, but I said like this. Let me rephrase it. What you do about it is going to determine how you're going to. Um, I just say this: what you're going to get out of the experience, whether it's negative or positive. Let me just say that, okay? Meaning, a lot of people don't like certain realms because they don't like the energy, and they are in fear from for what they see. And a lot of time when your vibration is really really low, you attract that which you are, okay? Even if you find yourself going down in these lower realms, okay? It's what you do about it that determines everything. Are you going to be in fear and feed these negative, low vibrational entities? Some people call them demons or whatever. They're just low vibrational energy. We all are energy, okay? Either you're going to feed it because you lack knowledge, okay? You're either going to feed it because you lack knowledge and you don't understand that going in fear is not the right thing to do. What you do is you stay in a place of love, you're holding your vibration, and also you're exercising your God-given, okay, common sense and your talent, and you expand your light of the divine that is within you. And this will show you the way, okay? This light that is within you is a source. It's in with every Most High God creation. But certain energies, certain beings, okay, choose the darkness more than the light. They don't care for the light, and that's their choice. And they're really jealous of you because they see how bright your light is, but they want no parts of it because they know they can't, spiral up. They can't go up into those realms like you. I don't want to say too much, but anyway, the point I'm trying to make is they see you. They see your light, okay? I don't care what realm you in. They see your light and they see where you're trying to go, okay? And they see what you can do. But when you are in these lower realms, okay, you end up there. Expand your light. For one thing, see it for what it is, okay? You're in these lower realms. Expand your light, okay? This will protect you. Okay, this light will surround you. And if you're having a problem, like if you're like, well, I don't see my light, okay, well, visualize it. Everything's imagination, okay? Visualize a light wrapping around your body, okay, from your feet all the way up to the crown of your head, okay? Or see yourself in your Merkle bar. It's full of light. And when you're in this realm, expand your light, like I said, just see yourself in light, period, okay? It's so important because they cannot penetrate that light, okay? And not only that, when you calm down, control your breathing. That has a lot to do with it too, because your breathing affects your emotions and everything. Calm your breathing down. Get in a place of love. Think of love. And before you know it, you're gonna start seeing, some light being or some angels coming around you. That's what it means when they say thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. I've seen this for myself. So I know how true that word is. You're gonna see it for yourself. You're gonna see that rod and thy staff, the most high God, rod and his staff. Okay? They start coming around and just as you seen those so called dark beings, at a distance. But trust me, they want to get their hands on you so bad, but they can't. But they're at a distance, still trying to intimidate you. Eventually, I can only speak for myself. Eventually, you'll start seeing the Most High God riding His staff coming around, okay? Because you're expanding your light of the divine. They start coming around, all right? And they will start also what light does to darkness, it transmute darkness, okay, into light. And those dark beings will just fade out. It's like the way I've seen it for myself, I would see a light being step in the place of a dark being, and that dark being would just fade out, or that dark being will become light. Now, how that works, I'm only telling you what I see. I don't know everything, okay? But I'm only saying this, letting you know how true that word is, okay? Even though it has been rewritten, there's still a lot of knowledge in the word that is true, okay? That's why they don't want people to wake up. That's why they don't want people to wake up, because you would understand it more, you would know what that verse means, because a lot of it is pretty much parables. But parables are really meant for those who are spiritual, those who are seeking. All right, they're worshiping the Most High God, if you want to call it source, the divine. That's your choice. But it's something far bigger than yourself. You worship it in the spirit and in truth, because you go within yourself. You're not worshiping people out here. Let me say that again. You're not worshiping people out here. Okay? It's your gods. You know that He that is in you, that's greater than He that is in the world, is inside of you, as it is within them. But if they're not searching, if they're not looking for it, they're not going to find it. What they'll do is start looking outside of themselves. Okay? That's the difference. That's the difference. Because I'm walking with you. I don't want nobody worshiping me. I'm walking with you. I'm having these experiences. And really, I want to say I didn't ask for it, but I would be lying. Because I remember in 2011, I would say, back then I was seeing sparkles. 'Cause I was doing a lot of walking and reflecting on my life. And all of a sudden I looked up in the sky. It was a clear blue sky. And all of a sudden I seen these sparkles in the sky. And all of a sudden it burst into millions of them, and they started coming down. And I was like, wow. I'm like, well, this is some intelligence right here. What is this? So back then I started seeing the sparkles. But not only that, I remember being at work, staring at the computer, because I was working at the hospital. And back then I felt burnt out. I did enjoy what I was doing, but I felt burnt out because I was working like first shift, and that shift is very, very busy. You have to really multitask, and I was good at what I was doing. Yes, I was, but I didn't feel appreciated. Okay, and but it's a long story. But anyway, I remember I sit back from the computer monitor, and I was looking around at everybody. And it's like everybody was just moving in slow motion. Like everybody was just busy doing something. And I remember looking around doing like this. And all of a sudden, I was thinking to myself, it got to be more than just this. It got to be more than just this. Family, I felt burned out on that job. And I wanted to do something different. I really don't know what I was feeling. All I know is I had a moment. I had a moment. And I said to myself, it got to be more than just this. I remember just quietly having that talk with God on the inside. I said, God, it has to be more than just this. I don't remember anything else that I said, but I got myself together, and I started back working. But I remember having that moment, asking God, the universe, it has to be more than just this. And you know what? It is. It is. It is. Little did I know, it is more than just this, than just this 3D box. It is more, okay? But you will only know for yourself when you start having your own experiences. Many of you watch me for many, many reasons. Many of you watch me for entertainment, and that's okay. May you leave watching my videos, have learned something, or maybe it's something that I'm speaking about that might trigger something in you. Okay, to have you start saying it got to be more than just this. A lot of people get comfortable because they don't want to change. They get comfortable because they fear what they don't understand it's a lot of reason why people are not really seeking outside of this realm, but that's okay. That's their walk. When they are ready in divine timing, they shall awaken. Okay? But I remember having that talk, and I didn't even know. I put it out there, but you kept what you asked for. And I think that was like back in 2011. I had my daughter in 2012, and it's like, wow, since I've had her, oh my goodness, what all came with having her. It's like I've been having experience left and right, left and right, left and right. Okay. Um, but I speak about a lot of that on another video. I don't want to make these videos long, and I apologize for going this long. But I know back then when I was having a lot of experiences, I was writing them down. Okay. And this is like my spiritual awakening journal. Okay. I told many of you, whenever you have dreams, write them down. Okay. When you have visions, write them down. This is way back in 2006. Okay. I got here my spiritual awakening journal, questions and answers from the God within me, my I am. Okay. And eventually I'm gonna write a book. Okay. I live to see it. But until then, these videos are my testimony, and they will be passed on. People will be able to check me out and see where I've come from, and me having experience how the Most High God has brought me out. By having these experiences, I can help many people who are also on their spiritual path, and a lot of things are bothering them. Let them know, fear not. The Most High God is with you. You have nothing to fear. Fear is just an illusion, really. It's an emotion, but it's also energy, and you got to kind of put it in check, okay? Um, but I remember, this right here was, I wanted to share this with you real quick. Um, this was May 27, 2016. See, because a lot of things I be forgetting, that's why it's good to write things down. And I'm not even sure what all this I want to say, but I'm just want to share it real quick. Last night I felt it again. This strong, powerful energy wrapped around my body, and my star family came for me. The feeling felt like my body was moving and vibrating at the same time. I would be conscious the whole time, moving at a fast speed. Then my body, or shall I say, the energy would slow down, and I can tell that I'm entering a craft. And then eventually I would black out. This happened to me twice, once last year in 2015. So I'm constantly, you know, jotting down my experiences. I suggest many of you do the same. Because what's going to happen is you're going to forget. A lot of times you end up forgetting a lot of your experiences. That's why it's good to write things down. But back then, I was having experiences of being visited and seeing ETs, okay? And my first experiences was seeing grays, okay? And a lot of time you're seeing grays, you're operating on a lower vibration. Let me just say that. That was back then. I haven't been seeing them since because I raised my vibration. When you raise your vibration, this protects you from them, okay? It protects you from them. Let me share with many of you real quick. When it comes to astral traveling, I've had two experiences I would like to share with you real quick before I end this video. I can always do other videos another time. Your sister just full of having these experiences. I want to share them with many of you, but I would be making these videos too long, and many of you, your attention span is short, just like your sister. Okay, but I am humbly grateful to share my experiences because I know it's going to help somebody. Okay, somebody is going to have a listening ear. Okay. Um, Real quick, one of my astral travel experience of me leaving my body. Excuse me, I apologize for burping. I apologize. Um, what it feels like when you leave your body. For me, you feel light as a feather. And for me, when I've had my experiences, what it feels like is though I'm falling off the bed. Okay, but I never touched the floor. Okay, I never touched the floor, but it felt like I'm going to touch the floor. But when I raised myself up, I felt light as a feather. And for me, there was no really thought of me thinking of my family. Like, oh no, I'm outside of my body. You just know you're outside of your body because the feeling is just so out of this world. It's just so out of this world. Let me just say that. Uh, when you're out of your body, you can look at a door and immediately you are on the other side. I remember being outside of my body. I look at a wall and I just walk right through it. And I look back at it. I'm like, what? No. I'm like, wow. Before I knew I was in the hallway, my son's room was is far down in the at the end. I remember looking down the hallway. His door was closed, but I didn't feel the need to check on him. I was free outside. I was outside of my body, but for some reason, my mom was on my mind. Immediately, I was at her door. Immediately, I was at her door. Her door was cracked, and I saw her. I saw that she was in her bed. Her covers were kind of folded back, as though somebody had got out the bed, and her bathroom light was on. So I knew she was in her bathroom and she was okay. I remember looking back at the front door. Immediately, I was outside the front door. Immediately, I saw the stairs. I don't you don't even feel yourself walking. You feel yourself gliding. Okay. For me, that's what I felt. Immediately I was going down the stairs, the first steps. I look back. I didn't see this person before, but I remember looking back and there was this young lady and she was just sitting there. I didn't see her before. She was sitting there on top of the steps. And she said, "Do you see me?" I said, "Yeah, I see you." And all I remember is she and I having a little small conversation, and we just took off together. It's like we just started flying off. But I saw her, but before I didn't see her. So anyway, that's one extra experience that I had. And also, when you're in that realm, things look backwards. To me, things looked totally backwards. The atmosphere looked different. It looked more brighter. It just looked very dreamy like. Okay, that's one experience I had when I had my Astro experience. Okay, and I've had many, but these are the ones I really, really remember. The second Astro experience I had, all of a sudden, I was floating above, I guess, an ocean. It's like I was looking down at the ocean, but I was moving forward. Okay, and all of a sudden, I kind of raised myself up. I was like flying. Okay, I raised myself up, and I saw would look like a mountain and it had a hole in the center. Now, everything I'm telling you, family, I've talked about this before, but a lot of people, watching me as far as my current videos. I have a lot of old videos too. I call it the vault. I have a lot of old videos. So really for certain ones who have been watching me back then, I'm really, repeating myself and I apologize. But I have a lot of people watching me that are new that are not going to take the time to watch my old videos. So, but as you see, everything I'm saying it from word because I've actually experienced this and I remember it. As I was moving above the waters, I kind of raised myself up and I was looking ahead and I ran into now where this place is at, I do not know. I don't know where this place is at. I remember looking ahead and I saw what looked like, I guess a mountain, this in the middle of the ocean. It was I don't want to say land, but it looked like I was, moving towards a big old rock looking mountain, but it had a hole in the center. Okay. The hole was big enough for, I'd probably say a helicopter could have went inside of it. That's how big the hole was. Okay. It was that big. Something wanted to enter it. It could, if it was able to fly in it. Now climbing it didn't seem like it was possible for anybody to really climb it because the structure on the outside was very smooth, okay? But if you are flying in the hole, you can't enter it. Okay, let me just say that. So anyway, the hole intrigued me. So I flew in the hole and it was real dark. It was real, real dark. But, for some reason, you're outside your body, you're very adventurous. For some reason, you're not in a state of fear either. And I think during this time, I had mastered myself to not be in fear. So that's why I went deep into that hole in the mountains. So as I was moving forward, okay, eventually I started seeing things. I stopped and I remember seeing real quick what looked like some kind of shaft type thing. It was a big old hole in the middle of the floor, right? And I think it had rails around it. I can't remember on the top. And I remember walking towards the rail and I looked down. I looked down that hole and I said, well, I ain't going down there. I was saying it, inside my head. I said, well, I ain't going down there. So I remember going to the right because, like I said, it's like eventually when I went inside that the mountains inside that hole, it seemed like it led me to some kind of ship that was inside of it too. Let me just say it like that. Now when I look back at it, I was really inside some kind of ship. I was led to some kind of ship inside. Okay, that was also in that hole, shall I say? So I remember going to the right, and I was going down some kind of hall corridor, and I saw an ET. Okay, it was gray. I saw one of the grays, and it looked like to me he was facing the wall. I don't know what he was doing. He was doing something, and I remember I was getting ready to bypass him. I remember I observed him. I observed him. I was looking at him, and but I was still moving forward. And as I was looking at him, this is what he did. I just want to give y'all a replay of what he did. He was looking this way. I was here trying to go past him, right? Like I was doing like this, gliding past him. And this is me. This is me going past him. He did like this. He turned around. He turned around. He started to follow me, and that's when my that's when I took off. I took off, okay, because I've had experiences with them before, and it wasn't so pleasant because they do us like we do lab rats, okay. They like to experiment and mess with your your DNA for their own reasons, okay. But one thing about them, they don't really care for you being comfortable, shall I say, or numbing you for pain. No, they're pretty much like robots. Okay, they are smart and intelligent, but their gender to me is kind of sinister, and I just don't care for them. But anyway, I took off. I took off, and I managed to leave that space. Okay, because once you get advanced and you master yourself, you can open up portals to leave certain spaces, okay? Or you could just think of any place and you're there. And that particular time, that's what I did. I I think the beach, or I can't remember what I thought of, but I was immediately there, and I was out of that space. So basically, the point I'm trying to make is there was a ET craft that went inside that hole, and they end up being stationed inside that hole. Cause like I tell you, the only way you can get to it unless you fly inside of it. The outside of the mountain, the rock, whatever, it was smooth like a wall. It was very smooth. I don't see how nobody could have climbed up there. But you never know. Some people are just really creative that way. But who would ever thought something like that? And I truly believe this place exists. I don't know where, but like I said, it is an ET craft that is inside that hole, because I was moving forward for quite some time and I ran into it. But when I ran into it, it's like I was already inside of it and I was looking around. But like I said, it had like a lot of corridors, and it also and who knows? It could just be in one of their little stations inside. Let me just say that it could be. It could. Now I think about it, it could have been just one of their stations. Where they plan to um, live. I guess I don't know. I really don't know what their agenda was for being there, but it was definitely a place to where if they didn't want to be bothered, you know, nobody could really get to them. Okay, unless they know exactly the location and they will fly inside of that hole. But anyway, family. Yeah, just like the ETs are also they're stationed like within our ocean, okay, down there in the bottom of our ocean or in those caverns. Same thing above the earth. There are also many of them hidden inside rocks, like caves. That you can't really hardly get to unless you're able to fly inside of them. But anyway, family, I just want to share that with many of you. Your sister has been having some amazing experiences since I came to my spiritual awakening. I'm very grateful to the Most High God. Just giving me this a testimony to share my experiences, to have a platform to be able to reach out to my brothers and sisters in the spirit who understand your sister, who can relate to me because you're having your own experiences. You might not be seeing what I'm seeing, but you're seeing something, and that's what matters. I'm letting you know you're not crazy. You're just having an experience. But real quick, let me go backwards real quick. Sometimes, family, by having these experiences, it's such a blessing. It's such a good feeling knowing that you can have a family to go to when you have these experiences, okay? But you know how your family is, okay? I look at our family, it's like training camp coming here. I don't know if we choose them or not, but let me just say this. You love them unconditionally from where they are and who they are, okay? And it's okay to agree and disagree. But it's like having your family, it gives you, um, let me just say this. If you can put it with your family and all their differences, okay? You can be able to deal with other people who are not your family, who are not your blood, because for the most part, when you start having these experiences, a lot of times your family they can't relate because they not have no kind of experiences, okay? And you only know that when you start running your mouth, okay? And you're speaking about these things, and they looking at you like you're crazy. I'll suggest you bag it up and stop talking, okay? Your experiences are your experiences and you're having them for a reason. And your experiences are also tying you to your purpose, okay? So always keep this in mind. I truly believe the Most High God is not going to allow your third eye, your pineal gland to be activated for such a time as this and not give you no purpose behind it, okay? But you have to master yourself. You got to renew your mind and start thinking positive, okay? That's the key. Think positive, walk in love, and your experiences will be beautiful, family. They will be so beautiful. But let me just say this real quick. Please know when it comes to your gifts or anything that you're trying to do as far as trying to better yourself, for the most part, family is not going to celebrate you. Family are not going to really support you. Maybe one and be grateful for that one, okay? But they're not going to. For the most part, it's going to be strangers. Now, these are not really strangers. They are kindred spirits. These are people, who are like, your soulmate. And when I say soulmate, it don't have to mean lover. These are people who understand you because they too gets you, okay? Um, you know, it's like it's a part of you that's you seeing this a fracture of other people because they can see you in them or you see yourself in them. They're going to support you, okay? For the most part, your family are not going to support you like people that the Most High God is going to bring into your life. They will support you, okay? They're going to celebrate you, and they're going to want to see you win because they too want to win, but they know that for them to win, they got to celebrate you as well, okay? For the most part, family is not going to it's not going to do that. Like I said, unless it's that one, okay, or maybe that two, but it's pretty much going to be someone that you're going to least expect. It's going to be someone that's not of your family, that's not of your blood, but of the spirit. And that's what it matters. It's going to be somebody that's of the spirit that understands you and going to want to support you. Okay? Let me just say that. Okay? Just like the Bible talk about Boaz. Okay? Boaz is somebody that's financially, just that have abundance of money or whatever, There are a lot of Boaz and a lot of people. A lot of people have a lot of, you know, uh, financial means to help somebody, all right, to get to that next level because they see something in them. They see greatness in them. Family is, for the most part, is not going to push you there because, for one thing, they don't understand what you're going through. And, they're still programmed to think what's going on with you is witchcraft slash new age, okay? But at the end of the day, when you know whose you are and you're not worshiping people, you acknowledge the Most High God's source, you're not part of the so-called new age where you are worshiping people. You know better than that, okay? Just because you're spiritual, it doesn't mean you're brainwashed, okay? Let me just say that. But I just wanted to put that out there, family. I know I'm seeing a lot of growth and a lot of abundance going on in my family, even though a lot of them not really spiritual. I can see what the word means when it comes to that word Boaz, and I speak about that in another video, how the Most High God can bring people in your life to bless you abundantly just because they can, and they are too being, blessed as well by blessing you. But I speak about that in another video, okay? Because I have some examples when it comes to some family members of mine who are operating in their gifts, okay? Not gifts of the spirit, but in their gifts, period. Because the words say your gift make room for you. And how someone who not their family, okay? Someone who just sees something in them and they are investing in them, okay? But that's a whole other video. But that is so true. That is so true. But anyway, family, as you have your experiences, like I said, write them down. Write them down. As you see here, when I started coming to this knowing and meeting my higher self, which is inside of me, and as well as outside of me too. If you have eyes to see, you can see this spiritual being that's always connected to you. I can see mine, okay, and it looks the same when I go inside myself. But once I started to um, being aware of my higher self and retrieving information from within, okay, I started asking questions big time, okay. I have a little journal to where I was asking questions about Antarctica, okay, and I spoke briefly about that. And I started asking questions about Adam and Eve, okay. And I did it briefly. I wrote information down that I had retrieved from that. I was interested about timelines. Okay, I jot information down because I was intrigued. I was intrigued about that. These are all my own personal notes. Um, when I when my third eye started to awaken, all of a sudden I found myself being drawn to pyramids. Okay, and for some reason, I remember, my essence was raised up. It's like I saw a pyramid in the distance, and for some reason, I was intrigued about the tip of the pyramid. Okay, so my spirit man went as high above the pyramid, and all of a sudden, the pyramid had a light at the tip. All of a sudden, I went straight through that light, and I was going through like a wormhole. And that just took me places too. And eventually I started seeing pyramids with my spiritual eyes. Well, that's a whole nother. I don't want to make these videos long. I've already gone, 48 minutes, and I apologize. But anyway, before I even saw this on YouTube, I saw this inside of myself. These are pyramids, okay, and light shooting up out of the pyramids, okay. And this phenomenon is going on now. It happens at a certain time. It's going on now. But those who have eyes to see can see this light shooting up. That's all I want to say, okay. The Orion, the stars of Orion. But anyway, um, the information that you want to receive for you is for you. Don't worry about what people think about you, okay? Because what they think about you, that's their problem, okay? It's not your problem. You keep exercising in what you know to be true. Walk in love, okay? And for anybody who wants to criticize you and judge you, they are not in their heart space. They can say God, God, God all they want, and they can quote scriptures and throw them at you all they want, but they are not in their heart space. So they really need to check themselves, okay? And get back in their word where they say, judge not, okay? this is stopping many of you from um, speaking your truth because you don't want to be criticized. You don't want to be considered as a witch, okay? You don't want stones thrown at you, but this comes with it. Like, it says in the word, a prophet's not honored, in his own home. No, no. And I'm not saying I'm a prophet, but I'm just saying anybody that's different, that stands out, that's coming from a place of sharing their wisdom, their knowledge based on their experience. People like us and like you're not going to be received very well, all right, in your own home, in your own community. You're not going to have to put yourself out there, and those that are meant to see you, okay, those that are meant to cross your path will cross your path, and they will appreciate you, they will love you, and they will honor you, okay, and they will respect you, because remember, love equals respect. Where there is no respect, there is no love. Please know that when it comes to your relationships, and know that when it comes to people that cross your path. Much love to you, my brothers and sisters in the spirit. If you have been with me thus far, I know me, I'm the kind of person I watch half, watch the other half another time. But anyway, I thank you for your love and supporting my channel. I really do. I don't really say this too much, but please like, share, and subscribe, all right? Definitely like and share. That means a lot to me. I don't really care so much about the subscribe, but definitely like and share, okay? That's going to help many others who will cross these videos, not, that will cross my videos, and maybe the words come out of my mouth. They just might have ears to hear, okay? Much love, queens and my kings. Bye for now. It's not worried about the naysayers. People are going to talk regardless. Remember, what a person thinks about you is none of your business. You keep your eyes on the prize and keep passing the torch. One love.